What's going on, YouTube? My name is Guy, this is Idlewave, and today I'm fighting against the rain to break down the song The Earth for you. Thank you so much for checking out The Earth and Wild Eyes and all the other songs I've been putting out. Got a couple more on the horizon for you this year, but without further ado, let's break this one down. So, The Earth started out on a acoustic guitar, just kind of me vibing with this one riff, which I thought was pretty cool and had this nice resonant frequency to it. So like, I love that note. A lot of people cut out resonant frequencies or look for these frequencies that are too muddy in the mix, but I knew from the get that the way that hit on my acoustic guitar, I knew I wanted to keep that in the song and have that be a constant in it. I don't know, I was just driven to it. And then I played the riff slightly different when I was trying to track it in my phone. I was like, that's not right. But then I played this. And I just love them together. They're quite hypnotizing. I showed a friend this like later that night when I began tracking it, and they were like, I don't know, it's kind of dissonant. It's too dissonant. And I was kind of stabbed in the heart because I loved it, and I can make it through the full song without having any irritation going on. And I was thinking about it, and I came back to it a couple days later, and just I'm dying on this hill. It's not that dissonant. I enjoy it. I think especially in the mix, it does a lot of purposes, and then it has this kind of lower guitar come in at the beginning. Just a very nice mid-rangey acoustic guitar with these guys. Fills out a lot of space. And I have this little pad going on. And that's mostly it. I have another, when the chorus starts, I have a room mic'd acoustic come in, which is pretty neat. So the chorus starts, yeah, it's like a pickup. Now this is that riff where instead of playing the full chord, I'm playing kind of like the root note and then the third up on the G string. And that's distinguishing the major and minor to everything. And then we got a shaker going, these high chimes. Very pretty, like sparkly synth. Not too much going on in the instrumentation. And then I have the drums come in. So these are drums. Nope, it's an acoustic guitar with just stuff on it. So here's the kick drum, and then I'll take all the plugins off so you hear what this sounds like dry. So that's the kick drum. It literally just sounds like acoustic guitar, like slapping it. But then I threw on some EQ, some distortion. So we got some warm distortion on there, and then we got a pitch shift to throw it down. So here's without the pitch shift. Like it sounds like a drum kind of, but this gives it that like kick drum sound, and then I have a just a reverb going on just to like give it a nice little sizzle. And then for the snare dry is interesting. It just sounds like I'm whacking like a lighter part of the acoustic. But we got some EQ, got some more warm distortion on this, and then just reverb. And then to back this up, yeah, so this snare is really interesting. So this might be copy and pasted. No, this might be a clap. I don't know what that is. That's either a clap, a sample, or me hitting the snare. I'm drawing a complete blank, but with all these things on it, kind of gives this like crack that a lot of snare drums have. And it's a nice little accent. It's not hitting every hit, but it's helping accent. And then we got shaker going on. Nice little doubled shaker. I forget if I panned, I think I panned these in the final mix. But, so that's the drums, which I think are the most exciting part. Actually, no, there's another cool part to the song I really like. Vocals, just because we got to talk about them, there's a lot going on in this chorus. I don't know if this looks like a mess to some people, but this is what I did. We got a lead vocal, and then we got kind of like the left-right doubles of them, and then we got some falsetto, and there's a bunch of falsettos, and then some right. What are these? Like a falsetto harmony. Just a little bit longer. Nice. Very, very like into the double vocal sound for this one. It's a very emo song. And then a bunch of oohs, which came out really nice. I think the oohs come through the whole, like, from the chorus. After the second chorus on, they're in, like, the whole time pretty much. Sound very haunting. And I like that awkward little slide they have, because I feel at the volume they're at, it tends to the mix so much in this very simple arrangement. It's just a nice little choir. It's not really stealing the spotlight from everybody, but rather making the vocals stand out with everything else. So the chorus. Wait here, just a little bit longer, and I'll fake my tears. Yeah, there's a lot of little parts going on. I remember in choir in high school, funny enough, our teacher was telling us that instead of throwing a lot of volume or playing everything very loud, volume really comes from each of the parts doing their job so articulately and perfect that just a natural harmony arises. And I definitely, when doing vocal layers like this, that is predominant in my mind in terms of how I'm going to make them stand out and shine. Verse is a little more simple. We have this kind of just like... Never acted out like this. Always held my head. And then just doubled it left and right. Waiting for a then falsetto and harmony. Well, you did what you can. And some like weird notes in the falsettos too, but I feel they give it a lot of character. Me remembering if these are... All right, so there's some stuff on the vocal here that we could talk about. On the main vocal, I got some pitch correction, and then got a nice tube EQ going on. Aside from the normal EQ, I didn't take too much out. We got de-esser because it's me singing, but most people use de-essers. Nothing to be ashamed about. We got a tape delay. And then we got another compressor. And then I'm trying to remember if it's this track or another track. We got Exciter, another EQ. We got some Fresh Air. One of the best plugins out there, really. Some chorus on here, which is fun. And then some J37 at the end of it, which I'm now scratching my head. This definitely wasn't the chain for the mix, because I think I remember a different arrangement of things. And then I was on this vocal, I threw on the Panda Studio compressor, Sam Pura, what's going on. This was pretty interesting because without it, this guy's just kind of like, He's doing his best. This is for the second verse because this is going to open up a lot more. Might be on the same chain, yeah. Never acted out like this. Always held my head in the sand, waiting for a pick me up. What you did, what you can. Yeah, and then especially, I think I got, on the chorus, this opens everything up with the chorus vocal, just the main chorus vocal just taken front and center. It's almost like a 80s new wave vocal, but here's without the compressor. Yeah, this is amazing. I just love the warmth and richness that the parallel compressor channel from the purified audio compressor. This was awesome buy. That and like Fresh Air are two of the newer things I got right before kind of mixing this song. There was a point where I did sit on this song for a minute and then went on vacation and I listened to it on the plane. I was just like, all right, I gotta finish this one. This is a cool song, and a lot of the parts came together really nicely. I was nervous about mixing it just because there's so many little parts to it, and I just wanted the balance to be as good as can be, but this song gave me a lot of confidence to just get a mix going and get the whole thing down. Now, my favorite part we were talking about before is this bass at the end of the song. I don't know why, I just kind of wanted something to happen, and I was vibing on this outro. I was trying to think of like a collage of things to do, and I just started playing my bass, which there's no bass in the rest of the song except the bridge comes in with this like synth bass. It's a really fat synth bass. Like, I love the way this sounds. This has almost nothing on it, just like a EQ lift, really. Yeah, this is a great, just like gets the job done synth bass. But then I got a real bass guitar that I played like a solo on and then doubled it because I'm weird, and I panned this guy and it sounds like this. And then in the right channel, we got this guy, which is kind of like almost doing a counter melody. But I love the way these came through together. And there's a lot of plugins on here because to make them sound like a guitar, they needed some noise gate, and there's a clip distortion, a bass amp, like just like to give it like some beef, another EQ to like take some more lows out because it needs to sit on top of everything, and then Fresh Air coming in for the win with this. I think I got the same amount on both of these guys, and then a voicemail I dropped in at the end of the song, and some of the most perfect timing ever from, I just dropped it in and it literally filled the whole outro perfectly. I didn't have to do anything. There's no fading. It just comes in, like, try to distort it so we don't know who it is. Just found this in my phone. And we got a vocal transformer, which sounds horrifying on itself. But in the mix, gives it movement. It sounds like somebody's trying to get a hold of me, which I think is always a theme in these songs about just someone's lost and somebody else reaching out for it. This you're never alone feeling, especially a song like this where Just talking about my little issues in how grand the universe is, and how, you know, the only thing I could really give is myself to others. But what do I give the earth? What do I give the universe? And just my reaction is all I can do. So still diving into what this song exactly means, because I just was getting a lot of lyrics fit and a lot of one lines come through, and then a lot of it spilled out, and I was just working with what I had. Bridge is really beautiful too. I love how everything opens up. And then for the vocals on the bridge, very similar attack as the one harmony. And then I got this crazy vocal. So we got some distortion. I love this distortion. So this might be my favorite one in Logic. And then some dirty vocal on the purified audio compressor. So just pretty much like compression, EQ, distortion. That's how you get this wild sound I'm working with. And this is what it sounds like on its own. It's just a room mic. Like I was standing like towards that back wall there yelling at the mic. So the compressor brings it up, and then the distortion, then this final compressor. Makes it nice and gritty. Again, in the mix though, you can have something very gritty, but then when it all comes together, I was watching a video yesterday actually on Sum 41's vocal, like the rap vocal in Fat Lip, and on its own the vocals have so much distortion and they're like coarse to listen to almost, but they're going over like huge wide guitars and drums and bass and just this heavy energy that it's what it needs to cut through exactly perfect. And I think that's it for the earth. We got the bass and just like a bunch of chimes and stuff and the shaker, and I was very impressed with myself to put this kind of together. Started out on just a riff, which I thought was interesting, and then I moved over to playing an acoustic guitar rhythm on it, and then just the song came from there. So this was cool that it wasn't just started with an acoustic guitar, but started over this like really beautiful riff. Thank you so much to like everyone for checking this out and sharing the song, and I'm really excited for the next couple songs to show you. So have a good one.